These drone strikes show how vulnerable and exposed Russian forces are on the battlefield. With no cover and no effective defense, they are caught off guard time after time. Every movement ends the same way, Russian soldiers falling under the precision of Ukrainian FPV drones. 3 Russian soldiers hiding in a house in the Kostiantynivka area became the target of a Ukrainian 3rd Assault Brigade FPV drone. The FPV drone quickly entered the house where the soldiers were located. Their final moments were captured by the drone's camera. The Russian soldier was spotted while entering an underground dugout, and a Ukrainian drone carrying explosives destroyed the shelter. A Russian T-80 tank moving toward Ukrainian defense positions in the Lyman region was hit by an FPV drone. The FPV drone targeted the tank's engine compartment directly. With the successful strike, the tank lost its mobility after the first attack. A group of Russian soldiers were on top of the tank. With the unexpected drone attack, the Russian soldiers on top of the tank immediately decided to move away from it. The soldiers quickly moved away from the tank and began to flee. However, the Ukrainian forces' priority was not the infantry, but to destroy the tank. Therefore, a second drone attack was launched on the tank. The second drone attack caused a more powerful explosion, completely neutralizing the Russian T-80 tank. The fleeing Russian soldiers, however, were not very fortunate in this desolate terrain, because now they were all completely unprotected and exposed targets. After flying 20 kilometers, Ukraine's fiber optic FPV drone found a gap in the enemy UAV defense network and reached a Russian checkpoint. The drone tracked the Russian soldier on duty who tried to hide and successfully targeted him. An abandoned Russian armored infantry carrier BMP vehicle entered the radar of FPV drones. The explosive-carrying drone managed to enter directly through the armored vehicle's entrance hatch. Within a short time, the ammunition inside the vehicle caught fire and began to burn. Ukrainian forces continued to destroy Russian vehicles to prevent their further use. The UAV battalion of Ukraine's 110th Mechanized Brigade carried out FPV and kamikaze drone strikes on Russian trenches in the Kursk region. Continuous drone attacks leveled the positions, destroying numerous ammunition crates. From one of the targeted trenches, a Russian soldier managed to escape and moved forward, thinking the drone attacks had stopped. However, Ukrainian drones continued tracking him. Once the FPV drone found the optimal attack position, it struck the soldier directly. 2 drones struck the Russian soldier directly. There was no chance of survival. First, a kamikaze drone strike targeted the spot where the Russian soldier was hiding. After the initial attack, the panicked soldier left the cover and tried to find a new hiding place, moving toward abandoned ruins. The Ukrainian 64th Mechanized Infantry Battalion continued to track him and launched another attack with an FPV drone. The Russian soldier narrowly survived the second attack by chance, but a third drone managed to penetrate the ruins and reach his position. Just as the soldier tried to run out and escape, the drone detonated. A Russian soldier was spotted alone among the trees in the Kharkiv region. FPV drones of Ukraine's 414th Strike Aviation Brigade immediately moved in for the attack. The soldier noticed the drone flying overhead and tried to hide among the trees. However, the Ukrainian drone operator skillfully maneuvered the drone and managed to close in on the soldier's position. In the final moments, the soldier tried to shoot down the drone, but was unsuccessful. The drone unit of the Ukrainian Signum Battalion located a group of Russian soldiers. Ukrainian artillery attacked the coordinates of the detected Russian soldiers. 120mm mortar shells hit the house where the Russian soldiers were located with precision. Each shot, fired repeatedly one after another, was a direct hit. Following successive mortar attacks, Russian soldiers left their positions and entered other houses. However, critical attacks continued. As Russian soldiers changed positions, attacks were carried out on their new locations. Experienced Ukrainian artillerymen managed to completely destroy the Russian positions. The Russian soldiers lost their lives. The 155mm Caesar howitzers of the 155th Mechanized Brigade bombarded Russian positions in Shevchenko, south of Pokrovsk, in the Donetsk region. The explosions tore through the enemy fortifications, causing panic among Russian soldiers in the dugouts. Thanks to their long range and high explosive power, the CAESAR guns made it difficult for Russian forces to hold their positions, neutralizing numerous targets. These howitzers also supported Ukraine's drone-coordinated strikes, increasing operational mobility on the front and significantly weakening Russian defenses. This time, the footage shows a Russian military vehicle moving along a logistics route. The soldiers suddenly came under attack from a Ukrainian FPV drone. They tried to shoot it down, but failed. The drone closed in quickly and struck the vehicle, disabling it. A group of Russian soldiers riding on top of a vehicle became the target of a Ukrainian FPV drone. They tried to jump off the vehicle, but failed. Last night, a Russian oil refinery in the Yaroslavl region was struck by a Ukrainian drone attack. The strike triggered a massive fire, leaving the facility heavily damaged. Such operations continue to disrupt Russia's ability to supply fuel to the front lines. With every hit, the pressure on Russian logistics grows, and their forces face increasing difficulties in sustaining combat operations at the front. One of the so-called Russian roads of death in the Pokrovsk direction. The footage reveals dozens of destroyed vehicles scattered along the route, logistics trucks, armored vehicles, and assault transports, all reduced to wrecks. This single road has become a graveyard of Russian equipment, a clear reminder of how Ukrainian drone and artillery strikes dominate supply lines. Every attempt to push forward here ends the same way, with convoys destroyed before they can reach the front. An FPV kamikaze drone operator successfully destroyed a Russian Repanik radar facility located in the village of Vasilivka in the Kherson region. The radar was part of Russia's local air defense network and was used to detect incoming UAVs and aircraft. Ukraine attacked Russian trenches with fiber optic drones. After the attack, soldiers who came out encountered 2 more drone attacks. This time, the target was a Russian soldier on a motorcycle. He couldn't escape the drone. A Russian UAZ Bukhanka vehicle was rendered inoperable when it detonated after triggering several mines equipped with electronic magnetic fuses that had been planted by Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicles. The Russian soldiers inside the vehicle did not survive. The Wild Hornets successfully intercepted and destroyed 5 enemy UAVs, 2 Lancets, a Molniya, a Geran, and a Zala drone. The personnel of the 1129th Anti-Aircraft Missile Regiment continued to secure Ukraine's airspace, preventing hostile drones from advancing. Operations took place in the Pokrovsk direction, demonstrating effective aerial defense. Ukrainian troops from the 66th Mechanized Brigade neutralized Russian soldiers in the Krasnoyarchenska direction. The targeted soldiers reportedly refused to exit their dugout to surrender, leaving them vulnerable to the operation. This action highlights the effectiveness of Ukrainian forces in clearing fortified positions. Ukrainian soldiers threw grenades at the shelter where Russian soldiers were located. None of the soldiers inside managed to escape. In the final view of this battle, the reality is undeniable. Ukrainian FPV and kamikaze drones dominate every corner of the front. From the deepest trenches to the most remote supply roads, Russian forces are constantly under threat. Every movement, every position, every soldier is watched from above. The strikes are precise, devastating, and relentless. Tanks burn on open fields, bunkers collapse under direct hits, and convoys vanish in fire and smoke. Even well-camouflaged positions and hidden stockpiles are discovered and destroyed. What Russia considers strongholds are quickly reduced to ruins under the eyes of drone operators. This is more than technology. It is endurance, coordination, and control. Ukrainian drone units are in the air at all hours, using fiber optic systems, thermal cameras, and advanced explosives to ensure that no target survives. Day and night, they dismantle the enemy piece by piece. The war has entered a new phase, where control of the skies defines victory on the ground.